Hi everybody, this is Andres Suklal from Football 101, and here we are with the national men's coach, Stephen Hart, and we would like to hear his opinion on the Champions League final between Juventus and Barcelona. So who else to get a better opinion from this game than an expert? So, Stephen, tell me what you think about the Champions League final.
I think it was everything that people predicted. I was really impressed with Juventus tactically in the semi-final, and I knew they would have some sort of plan of containment for Messi. But you know, with a team so dynamic, you know, they focused their attention on Suarez, Neymar, Messi, and then Iniesta, Rakitic comes up with something special, and they're 1-0 down, and it puts them under pressure, and now they have to change how they play tactically. But what they did was they made sure they didn't get scored upon early again, and they actually made Barca feel the pressure a little bit. They were rewarded with a goal. Mm-hmm. And then of course the game fell into the sort of familiar pattern of Barca dominating the possession and weighing down Juventus. They did have a couple of chances, Tevez in particular, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But you know, here you go. Suarez pops up, a shot from Messi, parried. Suarez is the first to pounce on it, almost as if he had something to prove. And then the final goal was obviously a sort of nail in the coffin. Okay. It was over.
At the beginning of the season, would you have thought Juventus would have got all the way to the final? It seemed to surprise a lot of people, but did it surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit. But when you saw them move through the competition, they were in a situation where they were getting better all the time. Especially they knew their strengths, and they had Pogba back, who is a big influence on the team. So you know, you saw them going from strength to strength, and I think once they won the first game against Real Madrid, yeah, it gave them the confidence that hey, we could do this. Mm-hmm. Barcelona, I was not so sure about at the beginning of the season. They were disjointed. There was a lot of rumor about unsettled Messi, and an unsettled Messi is an unsettled Barcelona. But they seemed to pull it together, and it was a very once again a very impressive final by Andres Iniesta, who for me is one of the unsung heroes of that team. He thrives under the pressure of a final, and seems to always be in a situation where he influences the game. The first piece of football, the pass from Messi, the one touch from Alaba, and then the little pass from Iniesta. It was textbook. It was just something to stand up and applaud.
A lot of talk leading up to the Champions League was about the loss of Chiellini. You know, Juventus plays it's two clash of styles. You know, everybody's aware of the Barcelona possession game and high pressing, and Juventus with the counter-attacking style. I am a fan of all different tactics. I actually love how Juventus did the counter-attacking style. Did you think if they had Chiellini, they would have conceded that first goal and the game maybe would have been different?
I don't think Chiellini would have influenced the first goal. Certainly the way it happened, the movement was well timed, the passing was spot on. It was difficult to say. I mean, you as a team, you struggle to cope with injuries of big players. The reason they're there are because they are the influential players, and I think psychologically, when you lose a player like that, it tells on the overall team. But that being said, Juventus did well, and who knows if he had played, if he didn't play, what the psyche would have been. But at the end of the day, I think quality is quality, and Barcelona quality shone through.
Yeah, because we were asked our predictions, and we, you know, both myself and my co-host Joshua said that, you know, at the end of the day, the quality of Barcelona would come through in the end. We didn't get the scorelines right, but you know, basically, I said 2-1, he said 3-0. The evolution of Messi, a lot of people, it seems as if despite how great he is, he seems to get, you know, people keep saying, all right, that's it for Messi, he has reached his peak. But we saw a different side of Messi where he played a more withdrawn role with Neymar and Suarez up front. And a lot of people attribute the success of this Barcelona team to him being flexible like that.
Yeah, I think he has the unique ability when his dribbling and his drive into goal doesn't work, to take himself out of the game and become the creator. And it takes a very special mindset to read the whole dynamic of the game and how the game's evolving tactically and how to solve the problem of the game. And I think in that respect is where Messi's true genius is. I mean, a lot of people watch him on the ball, and I had the opportunity twice now to see him, how he operates off the ball. And I mean, for me, his brain is working faster than anybody else on the pitch. And he senses weaknesses, he attacks those weaknesses. And the goal against New when he beat Boateng and went in on his right foot and still finished with his right foot, just goes to show it was something that he was setting up all along and thought about it. So yeah, I think his game's getting actually better. Because now he can do more than just pick up and run at people and draw attention and dish it off. You know, now he could drop deep, create from deep. I mean, the pass for the first goal is very seldom talked about, but I mean, it was right on the number.
Yeah, the thing about Messi is, you had a unique perspective where you met him from an opposition perspective. When Trinidad played them, you know, a lot of people were curious. You know, how do you prepare a team, you know, from a tactical perspective for somebody like Messi? I mean, of course you don't have to go into details, but I mean, you're facing arguably the best player in the world. How does one prepare for somebody like that?
Well, I think, you know, it's a matter of taking away space and little things like that. But I don't think Messi is a situation that you could man mark Messi, because he'll kill you. He will pull you into bad positions. And somebody else will exploit that space. We saw it so much with Argentina. It's just a matter of you trying to be disciplined and really hoping he has an off day. But he's in a situation, especially this year, where he was almost impossible to stop.
Okay, well, you know, being present in that game, a lot of fans were impressed, because a lot of people who didn't know were thinking we were going to get rolled over. But a lot of the casual fans were impressed in the manner in which we played. I mean, in the end, eventually they won, but the 3 goals they scored, you know, they weren't really. You know, I think one was a rebound off a free kick. They missed a couple chances, but a lot of people was impressed. The preparation for Argentina and the preparation for the upcoming Gold Cup. In terms of playing teams of that caliber, would you like to play more friendlies like those? I mean, that would be essential for development.
Of course, you only get things right on the field. Players do not learn by listening. They learn by repetitive, by doing the right things at the right time. And the tougher the opposition is, the more you have to concentrate, the more you have to solve what we will call football problems. And in order to do that, if you look at the teams, how teams prepare and how they go through games, that's what preparation is about. If you are not properly prepared, then you're mentally and physically at a disadvantage. And players know when they're not properly prepared, and the mental side of their game, they make 1 or 2 mistakes, and the mental side of their game starts to collapse.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have not been in a situation, not since I've been here, to say that we have ever been fully prepared. We get 3-4 days before we play an international, and in order for Trinidad and Tobago to advance, we have to change that mindset and that mentality.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked is the upcoming Gold Cup is pretty close. They recently had a game against Curacao. You know, in terms of preparations, the Jordan game, which is tentatively on, would you all be playing any other friendlies, or would that just be it?
Well, hopefully. I can't answer that in the positive one way or the other, because everything seems to be last minute. We found out we were going Curacao sort of the day before. They told us show up at the airport for 9 o'clock. And we went over there and we played 2 separate Curacao teams. And that's fine, because at this stage it's not about winning, it's about getting the players familiar with each other and just getting them game ready. But I would like to have 3 more games before I actually enter the Gold Cup. Jordan is a long way to go playing against an opponent that's not really our style. But we don't have the sort of funding structure in place that we could put these games in place 3, 4, 5, 6 months in advance, which is what other countries do. As you see, Guatemala just played Uruguay or are playing Uruguay. And all of this needs to change. It's not about just putting some players together and hoping you get it right. Because right now we're rolling dice. We might as well be playing craps.
Yes. The thing is, well, a lot of the fans would be curious. You got a national coach. They would love to know if you had to choose a team. You know, Trinidadians like to align themselves with teams. If you had to choose a favorite team, which is your favorite team that you supported as a young guy? Or no, what is your favorite team?
I support 2 teams when I was young. South and Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, okay.
So those were my 2 teams, and I think when I was here, I can boldly say I never missed a Trinidad and Tobago game. Right? And of course, I am from South, and any South in those days used to have North South. The South team was playing. My father or some friends would bring me all the way to North to see one leg of the game, and then we'd be in Skinner Park in our usual spot to see the second leg. And that's how I grew up. Win or lose, those are the teams I support.
That a lot of people say the North-South thing is something greatly missed. I didn't have the pleasure of experiencing it, but I come from a strong football family background, and I heard of it. They told me why it's missed, and I was one of the few kids in my generation that would go to all the Trinidad games. When they had like 6 people in the stands, I'd probably be number 7. But well, you know, basically, we don't want to keep you back. Good luck with your preparations for the Gold Cup.
Thank you.
Thanks for your insight into the Copa America.
Thank you.
We look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks very much for having me.